Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, Place of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I cannot lose until I accidentally start a run and make a mistake. That's the rule. JLXTCM46. Stats are good, speed could use a little bit of work, but hold on. It's been a day or two since I played Isaac. You know, it's an important step. Get myself back into the swing of things. How does one do this? Oh, it's the simplest thing in the world. You just put your lips together and blow. I know it's a famous movie quote, you know, it's like, how do you whistle? It's easy. You just put your lips together and blow. Can you imagine? That's like Twitch chat level direction. It's not working, Marilyn. It's actually very complicated. You gotta make sure there's just enough moisture on the lips, but not too much, and then you make a little aperture, and you focus your breath at the exact edge of your lips. It's just that easy, but I guess it doesn't work so well in a Hollywood script, right? Just put your lips together and blow. It's like the 1950s version of just build, lol. Anyway, you gotta give me a minute. Again, in these later week Isaac episodes, I try to keep things a little bit more low-key on the voice, you know, better for the vocal cords. I'm reminded of my, you know, people keep telling me, you're not old, stop pretending that you're old. I know I'm not old. I'm getting older, and part of the spirit of getting older is recognizing that, you know, your telomeres are getting shorter, and, you know, slowly you're regressing to some kind of like primordial ooze state that will eventually be your demise. But in like a good way or something, in a way that you accept. And I was reminded of this yesterday because I went and had my eyes examined, which I've been mentioning, you know, as something I needed to have done. It's been 3 years. My prescription changed only ever so slightly. But I also, you know, stuff you think when you're younger, you're never going to have to deal with. You know the eye test where they puff the air in your eye? I was like, you know, I always thought they just did that for kicks, just to kind of like, you know, lower your confidence before you go in for the eye test. Turns out they're testing for intravitreum pressure in your eyeball, and I had borderline high pressure in my vitreous fluid or something like that, so now I gotta go back for another test to determine whether or not I have freaking glaucoma, dude. Which apparently, I don't know, it's one of those things that there's like a few diseases that I only associate with the elderly. Glaucoma's definitely one of them, and this is not fair because I'm sure that it happens to people, I don't want to say of all ages, but you know, it probably does happen to people of all ages, just predominantly the elderly. It's like that, like osteoporosis and, you know, Alzheimer's, but I'm not trying to bring people down. So when the doctor was like, you know, you're like borderline, your pressure is on the side of, it's high, but it's not quite in the high risk range yet, that we just like to give you like a precautionary test for glaucoma. And I was like, yeah, welcome to being 30, I guess. I knew there was a reason I didn't go to the doctor all that often. They're always telling me things are wrong with me. Maybe. Anyway, I don't bring this up to be alarmist. I actually, and I'm being genuine, though it might be tough to believe. I don't really have any anxiety. I don't know if I even want to. How would I don't even think I want to suck up Mr. Boom. I only sucked up Tammy's head because there was no deal with the devil potential. So that maybe we'll just use Mr. Boom to get something done here and then move on. Although there is a battery charge, so you know what? It's not great the way we got things set up so far, but I mean, if we hadn't used Void to suck up these items, we probably wouldn't have used it for anything. So, although now we would have used it to get Book of Secrets, but technically more valuable, but still not that much more valuable. Anyway. I'm actually genuinely not that concerned about the test. Apparently the test is a test of your peripheral vision, and I've been using my peripheral vision all my life. What's up with these spacebar items? So I really, really feel like I got a good chance to pass. Moreover, even if I have glaucoma, I don't know, I'll just like go blind and be the world's greatest Isaac player while also being visually impaired. And I also think, you know, it would be a good excuse for me to finally, instead of missing all this stuff in games and then having chat go, oh, what are you, blind? I'll be like, yeah, I am, jerk. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on the whole glaucoma thing. I'm cracking jokes as my way of dealing with it, but also simultaneously, the doctor seemed optimistic that, you know, it's pretty unlikely to happen at this age, especially just being on the warning side of it, but who knows. You know, you gotta play the cards you're dealt. It's like that moment, you guys ever see A Christmas Story? Like 6 or 7 times every Christmas, all day, every day on TBS, the Superstation, etc., etc. You know, there's a moment, very pivotal moment in the movie where Ralphie says the F word, and of course he's not supposed to say that. He's just a little kid. So his mom washes out his mouth with soap, and then he has like this basically like embarrassing fantasy about him coming home one day and being blind, and then his parents being like, you know, Ralphie, how did it happen? How'd you go blind? And then he goes, soap poisoning. And they're like, you know, they blame themselves. You get the idea? That's what I'm feeling like. Is it, you know, a couple years ago I was like, hey, I'm going to introduce this new emote, Lion Blind. That'll be fun. And then last year I was like, Lion Blind is a toxic emote only used to make fun of me. And then Chad was like, you're a baby. Yeah? Well, what if I actually go blind? The doctor said it was emote poisoning. Anyway, I'm probably not going to go blind. I'm not a hypochondriac, believe it or not, despite what I'm talking about here. And even when, you know, the doctor was like, hey, the pressure in your eyes is like a little higher than we'd like it to be. We're going to bring you in for another test. I was like, all right, brother. You do you. I was mostly annoyed by the fact that routine eye exams can be done on a Saturday, but if you want to do this test, you got to come in Monday to Thursday between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. I guess, you know, they don't get too many walk-in appointments for people who are like, hey, give me the peripheral vision test. Regardless. That's how I spent my weekend. We went to the mall. Because here's the thing. Kate wanted to buy some stuff. But also, I needed an eye exam. Where can you buy retail goods and also get an eye exam? What about downtown Vancouver and this? No, we go there all the time. It's also, I don't want to say it's sightseeing, but you know, I'm sure people from the suburbs, you know, when they want to mix things up a little bit, they come to downtown Vancouver and go, oh, look at that. A store that sells raw fish. Now I've seen everything. We wanted to mix it up a little bit. We went out to the suburbs and we went, oh my God, a Kentucky Fried Chicken. You might think I'm being rude here. I mean, I guess literally I am, if you want to get literal about it and all that. But guess what, you son of a gun? I had KFC for lunch at the mall. And it reminded me of two things. One being KFC is extremely cheap. Fast food in Canada is more expensive than fast food in the United States, but it's like, you know, it's still not expensive by Canadian standards. Well, Kate and I both ate at KFC. It was like $16 Canadian for both of us to have a huge meal. I was like, my lord, how does this place make any money? It doesn't seem right. It's like I always think about the fact that Burger King in the US sometimes has a promotion where you can get 20 chicken nuggets for $2, and I'm like, dude, something's wrong. I don't know if that's a loss leader either. Like, okay, well, we lose 75 cents every time we sell one of these chicken nuggets, but like, or every time we sell one of these orders, I should say. But, you know, then when we got them in the door, we sell them a Mercedes. I don't think we want to suck that up. So many spacebar items so far. I just don't understand. Because you got to think, I always think of like, you know, of course the cost of the chicken. But then you've also got the cost of the labor of the person cooking the chicken. And you got the cost of the labor of the person serving you. And when you get down to, you know, the point where you're at 20 nuggets for $2, the cost of the electricity to heat the oil to cook the chicken nuggets, and the cost of the box that the chicken nuggets go in, and then if you eat them in the store, the cost of cleaning up after you potentially, if you make a mess, or even just, you know, you're leaving spots on the floor or something like that. Like, it's just crazy to think about. How can you run a business selling chicken nuggets for 10 cents each? But anyway, and I was reminded when I was eating it, not only the cheapness of the Burger King chicken nugget, but also the last 3 times I've eaten at a KFC have definitely been at malls or like in transit. There was the weekend of February the 23rd, 2019. Metropolis at Metrotown, Burnaby, British Columbia. I had 3 pieces of Colonel's crispy chicken tenders. You know I got the gravy, even though your boy's trying to live strong and all that. I just got the glaucoma diagnosis, okay? You gotta have the gravy. French fries, a drink. 2014 or 2015, the Cataraqui Town Center in Kingston, Ontario. 2 pieces with the French fries, no gravy, and also no coleslaw, because they told us of the coleslaw. They ran out that day. And I was like, come on, who you kidding? You're telling me there's been a run on coleslaw by 12:30 p.m. on a Thursday? I don't think so. Anyway, they were hoarding it for themselves. And then before that, it was like 2012 in a train station in South Korea. Wow, I am taking tons of terrible damage here. It's just something, and I don't know if it's just me. There's something about, like, I think I am going to sack the Spirit Heart immediately. I regret everything. There's something about being in, like, a place where there's, you know, you're a captive audience that makes me want to eat fried chicken. I don't know what it is. I do it at the airport from time to time. If we're in the international terminal and we don't have time to eat at, like, the one sit-down restaurant that still also kind of sucks, then I'm like, you know what? I'll just go to Church's. So the fried chicken in transit. Great Food Network TV show. I don't know, man. Worth? Perhaps? This is a dangerous situation. Yeah, we were at the mall. You know, we were doing mall stuff. I haven't been to the mall in forever. Apparently malls are declining in a big way. That's what I heard from Twitch chat anyway. When I was a kid, I know mall culture kind of like, you know, was at its pinnacle in the 1980s, I think. You know, when I think of the mall, I definitely think of, like, before I was born. I don't remember before I was born. That's a ridiculous statement, but I think of, like, pictures of my mom when she was, like, you know, 19, 20 years old. The ponytail to the side, you know, the Tiffany Amber Thiessen sort of thing going on. I think of the upcoming Stranger Things Season 3 promo. I am a fool. Yo, I don't know if we should have taken Evil Eye. I'm actually, like, I'm perturbed, dude. I'm scared about where we're at in this situation. But when I was a kid, you know, when I was a teenager, I should say, we still went to the mall. The mall was like, it was one of the premium social activities on the weekend when I was 15, 16 years old, you know? If you got a date, or maybe you're just friends, but you're trying to, you know, test the waters, see if there's maybe a little something extra there. Hey, you want to go to the mall? I was hoping you could pick me out some jeans at the American Eagle Outfitters. I knew I was going to get hit there. After that, maybe I'll take you out to Moxie's. That's right. Saved up enough of my allowance to take us to a moderately priced casual restaurant, where I'll pay way more money than I should for a single order of chicken tenders and think that somehow that's what adults behave like. But I hear that, at least what I was getting out of the timbre of chat, is that, you know, mall culture is kind of died out a little bit, or it's dying out a little bit. Didn't feel that way when I was in Metrotown, but let me tell you, Metrotown's also the 3rd largest mall in Canada. Wow. It's got everything. It's got a court of food. It's got a movie theater. It is weird, and I still go through this sometimes, that I lived in a small... Yeah, I mean, I lived adjacent to a city with 100,000 people. So, you know, when we would make a trip into that city, The mall was like, you know, let me put it this way. It was like big news when our town got an Old Navy. People were like, oh my God, I marked it on the calendar. Are you going to the Old Navy opening? And I remember when our mall got an American Eagle. People lost their mind. They were like, we're fine. We can compete with Toronto now. And it also got an H&M soon after that, or maybe, well, it's probably like a decade after that, but you know. And people were like, why would I ever need to travel anymore? We got an H&M. We got a Hallmark store. I can buy my lottery tickets there. There used to be a Sears. I don't know what it is now. It became Target for a while, or I guess Zellers became Target. You get the idea. So going to this mall, I was like, dude, this mall has everything. It's got the... Take me down here. Yeah, I don't even want to go to the curse room. It betrayed us on the last floor. It's got, you know, all the food establishments that I would expect from a mall. A Burger King, a Tim Hortons, a Starbucks, a Kentucky Fried Chicken. It had some novel stuff. You ever hear of this Uncle Tetsu's cheesecake place? I was just hoping these guys would actually be hit here. It's like a Japanese cheesecake. It's a bakery, but it comes out like super quick. It's almost like a, I don't want to call it like a Krispy Kreme, but you could sort of think of it like that. It has an Uncle Tetsu's cheesecake place with a ridiculous lineup coming out of it. It's got the H&M, it's got the Abercrombie and Fitch, it's got the Armani Exchange, the Jack Jones. It's got a flagship Lululemon store. Like, it's off the chain. What did I buy? Well, I bought new glasses. It's got a Lens Crafters. Shopping for glasses is always weird. The thing with shopping for glasses, you have to have someone you trust. If you don't wear glasses, the best way that I can describe shopping for glasses is that it's like an hour or so of that feeling, you know, like right after you get a haircut and you go, I hate it. But the hairdresser goes, how do you like it? And you go, oh, it's exactly what I wanted. And then, like, you know, a day later you wake up and you look in the mirror and you go, oh, it actually looks like totally fine, you know? And before you go, how would you know? You know, I've had some haircuts in my life before. That's what trying on, you know, new frames when you get your eyes tested is like, essentially. You know, you're used to seeing yourself. I mean, glasses are something you wear all day, every day. If you don't wear contacts instead. Let's not rush. We're doing okay here. So every pair of glasses you try on is like, these don't look like my old glasses, and ergo, it's a struggle to say that I don't think they look worse because they're unfamiliar. And then add on to that the fact that, you know, my eyes are bad enough, you know, because of the whole glaucoma thing, that when I have no glasses on, I couldn't even tell that there were letters on the eye chart that the guy was showing me, you know? And I think that's common for a lot of people, but, you know, it just goes to show you see somebody wearing glasses out there, you think it's cute, like, I'm gonna take your glasses, can you see? No, I can't. I literally, formless, shapeless, you know? If you ran 10 meters away, you would be lost to me forever. You know, it's like, imagine plugging somebody's nose up. Can you breathe? No, of course not. I need those two holes you plugged up for oxygen, inspiration, and expiration. Anyway, so compound that with me looking into the mirror about 1 centimeter away and being like, I don't know what I look like. You really need someone you trust, is what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to get across here. Nothing. I mean, Mulligan is good. You know, I for real, I actually think it's better to take the Mulligan than to... And these are not so good. But I think it was better to take the Mulligan than it would have been to suck up the 4 items in there, including the Mulligan. But that's a debatable one. But the Mulligan is real nice. So shopping for glasses is weird. And then, like... honestly, like, I was more being sold on the glasses than we were sold on our car. Like, it was a licensed optician, but she was like, so do you want, like, the poly resonant glasses, or do you want the, you know, high visibility plastic glasses, or do you want the, you know, you get the idea, essentially. And I was like, I mean, the thing is, I don't want whatever's cheapest. I don't know how I didn't get hit there. Maybe infamy? Do I have infamy, right? I can't recall. This has been a while, dude. I've been talking about the mall the whole time. You know how I get when I start talking about the shopping mall. You know, there's a couple of things I want. One is blue light filter. Considering how much time I spend looking at a computer, you know, I've gotten, I wouldn't say interested, but I've gotten more invested in ergonomics over the past few years. You know, I got a good chair. Once we move, I'm gonna get a good mattress, or a mattress that, you know, feels better at least. Just stuff to invest in, you know, trying to keep the body functioning as long as possible until inevitably it reaches the end of the line, you know what I mean? So I figured, you know what, you just toss the extra 60 bucks in there for the blue light filter or whatever. And I do want anti-glare, not because, like, I'm vain, but because, you know, in the off chance that I do any, like, camera-based content, I hate glare off of my glasses in the webcam, because it also shows exactly, like, it looks unprofessional, but it also shows exactly what's on your screen at all times. So if I'm, like, on a podcast, but I'm also reading a manga simultaneously, it totally outs me, dude. That, or, you know, potentially revealing sensitive information, etc., etc. And I am on camera from time to time still, even though we don't do roundtable anymore. You know, I'm in the Meowbox videos and the yadas and the yadas. Occasionally just in Twitter photos and so on and so forth. You get the general idea. But, you know, she was selling me on, like, a bunch of different options. And then at the end, she's like, okay, so if you're interested in this, like, you want plan A or plan B? Like, plan A is this minus this. Plan B is this, this instead of this. This, which is analogous to this. This doesn't have the logo of the company on it, but, you know, it's a little bit cheaper. And I'm like, oh, jeez. Literally, when we bought our car, we were like, we'll take it. And the guy was like, just like that? And I was like, yeah, sounds good to me. Probably cost us, I mean, in the end, I'm not very happy with the purchase, so I'm not trying to say that it was the right thing to do. All offense meant to the Ford Motor Vehicle Corporation of Canada, by the way. You know what? Sure, gotta, oh! Let's go back. Just watch out for spikes. But then someone in chat said, learn to haggle. I was like, can you do that? Can you haggle at Lens Crafters? This now is, I'm glad we got here, because it's turned into a more Seinfeldian bit. George, you can't haggle at Lens Crafters. Then Kramer busts in. Oh, you talking about Lens Crafters? You gotta haggle, Jerry. And then he pulls out like a pair of, you know, the HD goggles from As Seen on TV. You see these babies? 50% off. And boom, bam, 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 bam. Then George goes into Lens Crafters and he goes, you know, the lady's like, oh, that'll be $175. And George goes, is that the best you can do? And she's like, excuse me? And he goes, I got a Lens Crafters down the street. Exact same features. Exact same additions. They told me they could do it for $125. Excuse me, sir. You know this is a Lens Crafters, right? Do you have any HD goggles? Anyway, where was I going? I don't know if you can haggle at a Lens Crafters. That's the whole bit. I'll tell you, from the way it was getting sold, I feel like you can haggle at a Lens Crafters. I feel like you can haggle any place there's commission-based pricing. I did experience haggling once. I went glasses shopping with Kate and Kate's mom. Yo, I will totally re-roll my whole run here. All of our stats got worse. And we have Tiny Planet. Maybe I couldn't accept that I was almost dead because I played badly. So I thought, well, let's just throw another one at... We'll throw a reroll. We'll probably be in a much better spot. Wrong. Anyway, it was a Korean glasses store. So I have no idea what was said. But all I know is at the end of the day, I got a pair of glasses with new lenses and frames for like 200 bucks. Which is crazy cheap, at least up here. It was a wild time, man. You know what? Now you got me thinking. I gotta Google it. Can you haggle at... Well, here's one. Can you haggle at Best Buy? You can price match. Customer haggle at Best Buy. Haggling really works when you buy electronics. They say online haggling. I think that means, like price matching. Can you haggle at Lens Crafters? I'm just like... There's a lot of articles here. It seems... Basically, the answer seems to be no. I will say, I don't mean to insult the good, natured store of Lens Crafters, but, there was something... At the end of the day, here's the thing. Glasses are glasses, right? I bought this last pair of glasses from a local place. It's got a really, really good reputation. And the eye exam plus the frames plus the lenses came out to be like 600, 700 bucks. It's pretty much the same as what I'm paying at Lens Crafters. We must have duality. If we have duality, let's go over here. And yeah, it's expensive, you know? But it's also, you know, an item of clothing that you wear at all times that's also functional, you know? Where was I going with this? At the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying is I don't really mind if I got ripped off at the Lens Crafters, as long as at the end of the day, I got a new pair of glasses and prescription sunglasses I can wear for a couple of years so I don't crash into a telephone pole while I'm driving, you know? I got other things on the go. Other things to be concerned about, like the whole glaucoma thing. Anyway, but beyond all this, we just lost a bone heart. I hate that we have another Curse of the Unknown, too. That's very scary to me. But at the end of the day, when she was giving me the prices, she was like, check it out. Not only, like this was unprompted, not only are you getting like these beautiful frames right here, you're also getting like our whatever guarantee on lenses, and we're gonna get you like a brand new set of frames from the warehouse. We're not gonna just pluck one out of the back because you're a preferred customer. And I was like, okay, whatever, lady. But then she's like, check it out. On top of that, first pair of glasses, I'm just gonna knock 40% off the price of your frames. Second pair of glasses, I'm gonna knock 40% off the price of your frames and your lenses. And I went, I mean, please do, but also simultaneously, shouldn't that just be the price then? Because like I haven't asked for a discount, and there's no sign that says like there's a sale going on. It really, whenever that happens, I always get the sneaking suspicion, for better or for, it's not for better or for worse, I guess, it's just business, that what that's there for is so if, you know, some person comes in and goes, you know, this much for glasses, are you crazy? And they go, you know what, buddy, you drive a hard bargain. I'll tell you what, I'm willing to go, here's the deal, just because you know, I like you, and you know, we're getting close to the end of the day, that first pair of glasses, I'm going to take 40% off the lenses. We can't do anything about the frames because the frames, their price is set by the manufacturer. We only control the lenses, so I'll give you 40% off the cost of those. How does that sound? And then on that second pair, I can give you 40% off the frames and 40% off the lenses. And then, you know, somebody whose ego is very closely tied to getting a good deal at Lens Crafters would be like, got him! Check it out, honey. I negotiated him down. Also, there's something, I think it's almost like psychological. What percentage are you actually getting off? If you get 40% off your glasses, or your frames, and 40% off your lenses. If you said anything other than 40% or lower, I think you're their preferred customer. If you said 80%, I think you just became a mark. That's 40% off. And in fact, 40% off the lenses and nothing off the frames is really only like 10% off at the end of the day, but regardless. Anyway, I'm just bringing it up because it seems like an old business model. I don't know. I feel like the older generation, they like to haggle. You know, for them it was like going to war. You know, granddad served in Korea. My kid serves in the cyber war against the Last Jedi. I serve in the battle of haggling at lens crafters. I suit up in my Sunday best. Head down to the old lens crafters. You're going to have to do better than that. Look, buddy, I'm a business owner myself. I got 15 kids that I know of. You expect me to pay $300 for glasses for each one of those kids? That's like $1 million. You're going to have to take at least 40% of the price of those lenses off. And then on a second pair, I mean, you're going to have to really sell me. I'm talking 40% off lenses and frames. I don't know. I feel like, I can't speak for other people in my generation, but I feel like my generation does not like to haggle. Haggling seems very strange to me. There's places, at a flea market, it seems totally sensible, you know, because each individual seller is choosing the price that they'll sell it at. Plus, it's like, you know, that's the culture of the flea market, I guess. I don't know, it always just seems, this is going to sound whiny, and maybe it is whiny, but I'm not really whining about it. Like, again, at the end of the day, which I'm saying way too much here, I don't really care if I overpaid for my car. You know, maybe I should, but I gotta worry about the whole glaucoma thing before I get bent out of shape about that, you know what I mean? But doesn't it just seem like unfair that, you know, your car could cost you less money as a result of your... Like a used car, sure, again, it's every individual seller determines the price, but a brand new Toyota Camry coming off the line in Oshawa, Ontario, why does it cost, you know, Type A personality $22,000 and Type B personality it costs them $23,500? Yo, I am playing like garbage right now. It's actually like, I feel like I might have also been a mark when I lived in Korea. Because there would just be like people selling food. And I know it sounds sketchy, but it's, you know, it's done. You know, it's just part of the ecosystem there. So you'd be like walking home from teaching, and there'd be somebody with like a bunch of tangerines. I'm not joking, I swear to you. Like a whole bunch of, you know, baskets full of tangerines. And then you go up and you go, oh my ayo. And they go, ha ha ha. And that's cute that you think you know what you're saying. Anyway, and they go, you know, ochanan, just $5. And then you go, I'll take it. Thank God we're Blue Baby, dude. What a disastrous performance. I'm not in a position to negotiate in a language and culture that I don't even really understand. Like, I'm gonna walk up to a lady selling oranges and be like, you know, it's not a strong negotiating position for me as a dude who clearly has seen the sun about 6 times in his whole life. You're gonna charge me $5 for a bag full of oranges? I don't think so, lady. Back in Kingston, I can get this for $4.43. I shouldn't complain, really. Because the actual reality of the situation is that by virtue of being ignorant, I actually got like a lot of free stuff in Korea. Due to the kindness of strangers, like Blanche Dubois style. Sometimes and I'm not joking, but you know, you might feel like this is ridiculous. because it sounds like a Coca-Cola ad or something like that. But you would just like go into a restaurant, and you'd be the only, you know, non-Koreans in the restaurant, and you know, sometimes the waiter would just come over and have, you know, like a couple of drinks in his hand or something like that, or an appetizer that you didn't order, and then you'd be like, you know, Igo Moyeo, and then he goes, service, and you go, service? What's service? And then someone who's lived there a little longer goes, it's when they give you stuff for free, because you ain't from around here. And it happened, not every time we went out, obviously, but probably like 1 in 10 or 1 in 20 times you'd eat it out at a restaurant, you know. Somebody would just come over and be like, hey, Chad, here's like, you know, 4 cans of Coke. You'd be like, I didn't order this Coca-Cola. They'd be like, yeah, we know. Just thought you'd like it, you know? Maybe you're having some trouble adjusting to the ecosystem around you. You know, maybe their kids are in ESL classes and they're like, you know, we appreciate the job you're doing. Here's your free Coca-Cola. Dude, I sucked in this. I have nothing to say to defend myself. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Womp womp.